You know what humans don't acknowledge enough? Weak animals in the wild. All wild animals who are potential prey deserve huge props. Everyone is after them, and there aren't any laws. The only option is running or self-defense. In this video, I'm going to show you the several ways that animals defend themselves in the wild. I'm going to be splitting these up into 3 categories, each with some subcategories. Protecting. Some animals don't have the capabilities to attack predators who are attacking them, so they turn to protection. We're going to look at 3 subcategories for this: hard or spiky armor, camouflage, and mimicry. Keep in mind that there are several different ways that animals protect themselves against predators. These are just some of the very common examples. Animals such as turtles, tortoises, and armadillos have outer shells that shield against predator attacks. Arthropods also have protective armor in the form of an exoskeleton that also protect against predators. There are also some animals that have a spiky outside to prevent them from being eaten. Animals such as the hedgehog, porcupine, echidna, and the blowfish all have spikes on their body to protect themselves against predators. Then there's camouflage, which is looking a certain way to either avoid predators or confuse them. There are 2 main types of camouflage: cryptic coloration and deceptive markings. An example of cryptic coloration would be the satanic leaf-tailed gecko. Satanic leaf-tailed gecko? That name's a little weird. I don't know why it's satanic. Doesn't look very satanic to me. These reptiles have skin that resembles tree bark and a tail that very closely resembles a leaf. They like to hang around stuck to trees or resting among twigs. Predators of the leaf-tailed gecko include birds, rats, and snakes. But because of their excellent camouflage, they can blend in with the environment, making it very hard for predators to eat them, much less even see them. An example of deceptive markings would be on the 4-eyed butterfly fish. Wait, 4 eyes? On a fish? That's crazy! But what if I told you this fish only has 2 eyes? Well, I'm telling it to you now. This fish only has 2 eyes. Those 2 dots on each side of the caudal peduncle are not eyes at all. They're just black dots. Why is this necessary? Well, predators in water usually attack prey by their tail fin so that they can't swim away when they bite. But if the predators think that their eyes are on the tail fin, they'll think the end with the actual eyes is the tail fin. So the predator might bite the wrong end and the fish would swim away. Lastly, there is mimicry, which is basically pretending to be another organism in order to deceive the predator. The 2 most common types of mimicry are Batesian mimicry and Müllerian mimicry. Batesian mimicry is when a non-poisonous animal pretends to be poisonous. But how does an animal do that? Bright colors. Have you ever seen a poison dart frog? A common factor among the many different types are their bright colors. So if a predator were to see an animal with bright colors, they'll steer clear of it as to not risk being poisoned and dying. Müllerian mimicry is when 2 or more different organisms who are both noxious exhibit similar physical characteristics. This benefits all of the organisms, because predators will learn to avoid animals with a certain physical character. Speaking of poison, that leads us into the next category: attacking. Some animals don't take any crap from predators. If a predator were to come by, they will strike. Now, there are many different ways that animals can attack others, obviously, so I'm going to be going over ones that are pretty common: bites, stings, and venom. These methods are used by animals both for hunting and defending themselves, but I'm focusing on the ways that they use it for self-defense. First, let's start with the bite. It's so simple. So many animals have the ability to do this. However, not every animal has specific characteristics that allow them to use bites as their primary defense method. Humans have teeth that are capable of biting, but they're flat. So if you were to bite someone, the most they would say is, "Ow, jeez, man. Why'd you do that? Ah." Sure, it could injure someone, but you would never want to use it as your primary method of defense. That would just be inconvenient. The camel spider is a non-venomous spider that uses bite as its primary defense method. If a predator were to apply pressure to its body, the spider would use its powerful jaws to pinch the predator. Then there's the sting. This is very common among insects and arachnids. Let's take a look at the most basic example of an animal that uses stinging as a defense: the honeybee.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
A honeybee has a pointed object at the end of the abdomen called a sting. With their sting, they can sting predators that put them in danger. Similar to a bite, if a predator were to apply pressure to the body of the bee would forcefully drive its sting into the body of the predator. It may not hurt that much, but it would be startling. Wow, what a great and useful defense mechanism. Oh wait, when a honeybee stings, it can't pull its sting out. So when they try to fly away from the stung predator, it accidentally leaves behind the stinger, part of the abdomen, the digestive tract, the muscles, and the nerves and the skin of the predator. So, kind of makes it pointless, doesn't it? Honeybees are the only animals to die after stinging, so then why would they do it anyway? Well, honeybees have an attached venom sac in the abdomen, so if the sting of the bee, along with the abdomen, gets stuck in the predator, it will continue to pump venom into the body, even if the abdomen is completely detached from the rest of the honeybee's body. And lastly, there's venom. Now, venom is rarely a method of defense by itself. It's usually added to a bite or a sting. For example, a bullet ant would sting its predators and inject it with venom, and a black widow would bite its predators with venom. Venom can cause nausea, extreme pain, and even death. Luckily, the black widow can send out warning bites, injecting little to no venom to say to predators, "Hey, you should really get out of here. I'm really powerful, so back off, you stupid. However, there are some highly noxious animals that get out of control. One of those is the funnel web spider. This is arguably the most dangerous spider in the world. Their main form of attacking is biting. They have huge fangs that can pierce through fingernails and venom that can kill a human in 15 minutes. Seems like overkill, right? Well, you're absolutely correct. According to Dr. Robert Raven, curator of arachnids at Queensland Museum, it's an evolutionary accident. The venom is highly effective in two groups, invertebrates and primates. Ranger Mix says, it's just absolute bad luck for genetics. Funnel webs didn't evolve to attack humans. So venom, in some animals like the bullet ant, can be extremely useful when defending against predators. It doesn't kill them, just adds a lot of pain so it's easier to get away. But other times, like in the funnel web spider, it can be really powerful, and completely by accident.
And the final category is scare tactics. Wow, it's really cool. Look at that. Okay.
Imagine you're a predator, and you see a lizard right here. Yes, right out in the open. Easy target. I'll just swoop down and... Jeez, man, you scared me. I'm still gonna eat you, so if you could just... This is the type of defense mechanism that I find the most entertaining. I find it ironic that sometimes if the prey encounters the predator, the prey will end up scaring it, usually resulting in the predator running away for its dear life. These are called frilled lizards. They may seem kind of freaky, but they actually aren't dangerous. Unless you are a bug or any other small animal, you have nothing to fear from these guys. It's interesting to see how prey might use scare tactics as a way to get predators to go away. Another good example of this would be a snake's hiss. Sure, lots of snakes have the ability to attack predators, but most of them don't. However, all snakes can hiss. If a non-dangerous snake were to encounter a predator, they would coil up and hiss. This might give the feeling of threat to the predator, causing them to go away to not risk their life. Conclusion. Nature is crazy. Science teachers everywhere always talk about the food chain. Something like grasshopper eats grass, spider eats grasshopper, lizard eats spider, and wolf eats lizard. But really, it's not that simple. Sometimes the spider kills the lizard, or the lizard scares away the wolf. It just goes to show that nature is unpredictable, and it's something that us humans take for granted. You never have to be constantly cautious, worrying that a giant monster could come up and eat you, then struggle to find a way to defend yourself.